Bishop, it's great being with you. Jay, enjoy being with you.
Thank you.
Well, the sacrament of marriage has Christ at the center, and your book uniquely focuses on growth in virtues. Tell us about that approach.
Well, so we have a major problem with marital therapy, and the major problem in marital therapy is this. It doesn't deal with the basic conflicts that exist in most marriages. And to deal with them, you have to have virtues to address those major conflicts, which are excessive anger, selfishness, a tendency to control, being emotionally distant. So 40 years in the field led me to recognize we need a book on marital therapy. I've done 2 books for mental health professionals, on APA books on forgiveness with a colleague at the University of Wisconsin. This is meant for mental health professionals to learn how to do better marital therapy. It's also for marriages, it's for premarital, it's for seminarians. Several rectors of seminaries have read the last chapter on legacies from parents. There's a lot going on inside people that they do not know about, especially in the area of anger, that should be identified before marriage, during marriage encounter programs, to get to the root of family of origin anger and marital anger, and forgiveness does that. So in every single marital conflict, without exception, there's a significant level of anger. It needs to be treated. This book discusses how you do that.
Dr. Rick, just staying on the virtues, I got to tell you, I'm a pastor of 2 parishes, and as a parish priest, I just treasure having a resource that I can give to people because I don't know that much about marriage except, through my friends and my brothers and sisters. So I know that in your book, each chapter names a common marital problem and then lines it up with a particular virtue to help couples overcome that problem. But can you, of all those things you were just mentioning in passing, what are some of the most pressing problems that people face as married couples today?
In this culture, without any question, the number one problem is selfishness. And the problem is that has influenced the whole culture to a very terrible degree. And the whole mental health field focuses more on, well, how do you feel? And if you don't feel good, maybe then you should consider divorce. So we need to restore the Catholic view of marriage, which this book attempts to do with a foreword by the Archbishop of Denver, Archbishop Samuel Aquila. Marriage is not about me, me, me. That's the psychological view of marriage. Marriage is about sacrificial giving. It's about a sacrament that raises marriage up to something which is a beautiful mission. That sense of mission has been lost, especially by young men. This book is written also for young men to recognize the important mission they have to enter marriage, to be husbands, to be fathers, to sacrifice themselves, not to wallow in pornography and total selfishness.
It's interesting today. It seems like people are avoiding marriage almost.
One of the chapters is on that. One of the chapters is on the retreat from marriage.
Yeah, and why?
A leading factor is a divorce epidemic. It is selfishness. I mean, this book is geared primarily for this reason: prevent divorce. There's one chapter on that, but every chapter points in that direction. Uncover the conflicts, because most marital conflicts can be resolved. Now, a number of academic people recognize that. 43 years of working in the field, I know most marital conflicts can be resolved. The good news about this book is that's the message it conveys, both with virtues, but sometimes virtues don't take you far enough, and then you need grace. And they were really blessed in Catholic marriages to have grace and sacraments that can help couples then really turn the corner very significantly.
What you always hear too, Dr. Rick, is some of the big problems are finances and how to raise children. Is that something you've seen?
Well, that's very important because parents need to grow in virtues. Parents have been profoundly influenced by selfishness. Since when is a 2-child family the normal Catholic family? That was not the norm previously. 4 and 5 children was the norm. So discerning how many children God wants you to have is a critically important part of fighting selfishness, because many youth are very lonely because they don't have a brother or they don't have a sister.
Mm-hmm. Now, the publisher is Ignatius Press, and the book relies, I know, heavily on church teachings, as it should, copied with positive psychology. Could you tell us, how can people get a copy of this book, and who should be reading this?
Well, they say this. I would recommend going to our marital website, maritalhealing.com. Order it through maritalhealing.com or through ignatius.com. This book has great benefit for high school students, for college students, for seminarians, for marriages, for engaged people, for priests in their ministry. It took me many years to write this book, Father and Jay, and I think I've great editorial help Ignatius Press. Could never done it without them.
Well, Dr. Rick, thank you so much for being with us and for giving us this great resource. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much.